And welcome. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Slight problem over the setting of this particular Techsavvy. I do apologize. Hopefully I won't delete a previous Techsavvy, but now I can talk to you live on Facebook. And welcome to 2021. Well, in the hope that 2021 is going to be a lot more busier than 2020, I think it would be good to just mention some things that may be helpful to help you keep a track of your online existence. Certainly, when you're in meetings or in places where you're using video conferencing, or even just being organized in terms of setting calendar dates and other things, there is a need to use lists and project management tools that can enable you to be much more better and more organized in your living. So the first tool I want to introduce you to is one that's built into Windows that might be helpful. And it's one that you might have to think more sort of discreetly about. It's called Sticky Notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you and demonstrate sticky notes to you. Just give me 1 second while I do that. Just going to share audio. Right, you should see my screen as it is now with a kind of repeating screen going on. But imagine that I'm in a meeting with you in terms of video conferencing, and I want to create some notes regarding this. So the first thing I would do is you can either search for this down here in the screen at the bottom corner, and you type in sticky notes. Here comes sticky notes here. And if I just say new note, up will pop another new setting. So I'll just move those out of the way. And I have a few options to make this more noticeable to you. There are different colored papers that you can use, which obviously would help people with some forms of disability. So I'm going to choose particularly dyslexia and dysgraphia and other organizational needs. So I can now keep a record of what's happening in this meeting. So it's Techsavvy. Whoops, too many different spellings. Hashtag 37. And I can then bullet point a few points that I want to talk about. So we're going to talk about sticky notes. I'm going to talk about Trello. And we'll just mention Insightly. Might also look at something in Outlook called iPlanner. So 4 things today, 4 things for us to look at. So let's change over to Trello. Now, what is that? Is sticky notes, and that stays at the bottom of the screen here. I can just click on it there, but it's ever so useful in video conferencing meetings to be able to just take some notes. This is one I took at a meeting yesterday about UDL, and I can then copy and paste that across to my word processor after the meeting. Simple little idea that can make productivity useful for you. Now, the next tool I'm going to look at is Trello. Trello is a free organization tool. Here it is down here, Trello.com. And if I click on Trello, I will be able to log into my account, which is an online account, and it will bring up the different activities that I'm involved or have been involved with. So it's like a project management tool. So you can, as it were, look at different projects. We worked with a web designer on the British Assistive Technology Association website. And so tasks were set for me and tasks were set for others. And we could communicate by adding another card to the job list, and then it would go on to complete. So that's one example of how you might use Trello. You might wish to use it for a project that you're involved with. This is one done by a colleague of mine. and it was shared between three of us, and it worked out the different sessions and what was involved in this project, and you're able to set up loads and loads of different streams of projects. So I'm going to go to the pillings, which is our board. Hopefully there's nothing too sensitive on there. Okay, so I can add a new board, or I can add a calendar date, or I can add a list. So I'm going to call this list Techsavvy, and I'll add it to the list. And then I can add cards to each list that I build. I can have infinite amount of boards, and I can also introduce ideas as it comes on board. So we're looking at organization today. So that's one way. So I can add that card. Yeah, and then there's another one there. So whatever I choose to do, I can add members, I can make dates, I can make all of this work for us. So change a due date, and it opens up my calendar. So I'm going to finish this at 10:15. So that's what's gone on there now. And I can then save that, and we now have one task linked up to Trello. So really good tool if you're working with other people across multiple information sites. The next tool I'm going to call up is Insightly. So if I go to the search engine there, and Insightly is more of a planning tool that you can call up and use. Insightly.com or Insightly.com login. I've already logged in, and this has several ways you can work on tasks, right? You can set new tasks. There is also an app on your phone for this, as there is for Trello. So messages come into your phone when things are needed to be done. I can set up then things that we might class as opportunities. So great one for organizing your business area. And there's opportunities there related to different things, or projects that I'm involved with, and tracking those projects and making sure that they all carry on and have a progression. So it's more of a tracking activities type tool that you may wish to have. So those are two online things, Trello and Insightly. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is just one or two things in Outlook. So the first thing I want to do is just show you that if you click on the main site on your Outlook account, it will produce everything in one place for you. For instance, the calendar, the events that you've got today, and also your tasks that you need to complete in that day, and your inbox. This is just done by clicking on the part there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can open up something in here, maybe a task or something. And so I can then, or an email, I can then set up iPlanner to work on that particular tasks. So hopefully it's loading in the area there. You get them from the add-ins, and iPlanner can help you plan activities and tasks relating to your teams group in this area. So there are no planned tasks today, and I can actually just add one. So for the plan, I'm going to choose AbilityNet Team, and it immediately takes me to the Ability Team network area. Now, this is very good for organizations rather than individuals. The problems I have with this is that it relates to people within your organization. Therefore, it's not allowing people outside your organization to be able to use this. So it's a tool with some limited potential. But let's say I'm using it just to help myself. So AbilityNet Teams. So I just want to be able to schedule in a task for them. And so I'm just going to pretend that I've got a meeting for them, and I'm going to put in an activity there, CNC, okay, which means something to me, but not to you. And that's a reminder, if you like, or a to-do. And so I'm going to set that in. So if it was that's a to-do. So if I was part of an organization, I would assign the people listed in this column here to do that task for me. So if I'm leading a team, that would be brilliant. But as I said, the main problem with Microsoft is you can't allow people outside your organization in to be a part of this. They have to have a Microsoft account. So for me, that is a limiter. So I'm going to stop sharing now and come back to me on here. Those are just some hints and tips. I could mention Google Keep as well, which allows you to set up your tasks and put them into different folders so that you can enable them to be used effectively and stored in particular subjects. And that will be another, and also it's color coded and it can be used in interesting ways. We've covered that in a previous Techsavvy. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this little talk useful. You can always play it back. It's on our YouTube channel, and also we list it on the website. Do take a look at my website. I'm just going to show it on the screen now. There it is, aas123.com, and you'll be able to pick up our other media sources, such as the At Show every Monday, and also at 3 o'clock, and also the podcast, which occurs on Thursday evenings, which is about assistive tech and little individual 5-minute programs about what you can do with your tech. So this Techsavvy, which is skilling you up, Mr. Person who is in the need of organization, then please do take this up. And don't forget to use the sticky notes to help you record online meetings like this. Thank you for watching. See you again next week. Bye for now.